A mysterious brown package lies on my doorstep. No return address, no name, just my trembling hands tearing it open. Inside, a single object reveals a truth my mother hid her entire life, and my world shatters. A quiet morning sun warms the porch as I notice a plain package sitting alone. Its presence unsettling, as if it had been waiting specifically for me to find it. I kneel slowly, brushing dust from the edges, my pulse quickening at the sight of my name written in elegant handwriting. Don't recognize, but somehow still feels hauntingly familiar. Stepping inside, I place the package on the kitchen table. The ticking clock, echoing loudly as hesitation, mixes with an unexpected heaviness in my chest. My fingers tremble while unwrapping the thick tape, the sound tearing through the silence like a warning I'm too curious to obey. Inside lies a velvet pouch, soft and aged, carrying a strange weight that sends a shiver crawling across my spine. I open the pouch carefully and reveal a delicate silver locket, engraved with initials that match my mother's, an eerie discovery that freezes my breath. My stomach twists as I realize the locket wasn't hers when she was alive. Raising impossible questions I never thought I'd have to ask, I hold the locket to the light, watching tiny etchings shimmer, revealing an engraved date that predates my birth by many years. A folded letter rests beneath the pouch, sealed with red wax, its scent carrying a faint floral note that feels painfully familiar from childhood memories. Breaking the seal, I unfold the letter and discover my mother's handwriting's soft curves, gentle strokes, words she never intended me to see while she lived. The first line hits hard. If you are reading this, it means the truth has finally found its way to you. My legs weaken as I sit, the paper trembling in my hands while my mind races through possible explanations. She kept buried. The letter reveals my mother once loved a man she was forbidden to be with, a love cut apart by danger and choices she was forced to make. My heartbeat quickens as her words hint that the package carries something he left for me, something she promised to protect until the time was right. I pull out a small photograph hidden in the pouch. It's showing a younger version of my mother beside a man whose eyes mirror mine unmistakably. Shock washes over me as I realize this man is not the father I grew up believing was my biological parent. My hands shake uncontrollably. The photograph slipping as everything I knew about my identity fractures into sharp, suffocating pieces. The letter continues, explaining she hid the truth to protect me from a dangerous past tied to this man, someone hunted for secrets he uncovered. I read faster, desperate, learning he was forced into hiding and disappeared before she could tell him she was pregnant with me. The locket opens with a soft click, revealing a tiny microfilm with unreadable symbols that feel far too important to belong to a simple family. My breath hitches as the letter explains the microfilm contains evidence of a powerful corporation's crimes. 5 evidence my biological father risked everything to protect. A final sentence chills me. If this has reached you, they may be watching again. Be careful who you trust. I stare at the microfilm, realizing someone mailed it to me after all these years, someone who knows the danger still lives. Fear and curiosity collide as I wonder whether my father is alive, hiding somewhere, waiting for me to unlock the truth he died trying to protect. My childhood memories flash, revealing subtle signs my mother always seemed afraid. Double-checking locks and watching through windows. Now those moments feel like clues. I never understood shadows she lived with, so I wouldn't have to. I grab my phone, searching the man's name written at the bottom of the letter, discovering news articles about his disappearance and a case left unsolved for decades. The articles describe him as a whistleblower who vanished before releasing crucial evidence that could have destroyed powerful people. My eyes drift toward the window, noticing a black SUV parked unusually close. its tinted windows facing my house with unsettling stillness. My heart pounds as a chill runs through me. I realize I'm no longer just reading my mother's secret. I am now part of it. I step back from the window, my pulse thundering as the SUV's engine hums softly. Its presence feeling intentional, like someone is waiting for me to make a move. The air thickens as I clutch the locket tighter, sensing my mother's protective warmth, yet feeling exposed under unseen eyes tracking every breath I take. I close the blinds slowly, slats snapping shut like a barrier between me and the unknown danger now creeping into my quiet life. Desperate for answers, I study the microfilm again, its tiny symbols glowing faintly, as if urging me to uncover the truth my mother feared revealing. The letter's final warning echoes in my mind, pushing me toward unraveling the secret before those watching decide to act first. I search online for microfilm readers nearby, discovering a small independent library across town equipped with outdated technology perfect for decoding forgotten secrets. Gathering the package, letter, and locket, I slip them into my bag, trying to control the trembling that refuses to leave my hands. Before stepping outside, I take one last nervous glance through the blinds, noticing the SUV still parked, unmoving, like a silent threat waiting patiently. I exit through the back door instead, my footsteps quickening as I cross my yard, avoiding open spaces where eyes might follow. The cold air bites my skin as I walk toward the bus stop, watching every passing car, unsure which ones are ordinary and which ones are not. On the bus, I choose a rear seat, keeping my bag close and scanning faces for anything suspicious. Though everyone looks painfully ordinary, the ride feels endless. Each street passing like a countdown to answers I'm not fully prepared to face, but can no longer ignore. Arriving near the library, I slip through narrow alleys, avoiding main roads, and my instincts sharper than ever as adrenaline pushes me forward. Inside the old library, dust dances through sunlight, shelves towering like silent guardians of stories long forgotten, yet still whispering truths. An elderly librarian looks up, her soft eyes filled with curiosity as she notices my anxious energy and the tightly gripped bag on my shoulder. "Microfilm readers?" I ask with a shaky voice, and she nods knowingly, guiding me to a small room tucked away from curious eyes. The worn machine hums to life as I place the microfilm gently, my heartbeat syncing with its low mechanical worry. Images appear on the screen, documents, photos, signatures, evidence tying powerful executives to illegal operations hidden for years behind polished corporate walls. Shock grips me as I scroll further, finding a photo of my biological father holding the same locket now in my possession. Tears gather as I realize he wasn't abandoning us. He was forced to disappear because he refused to stay, silent about the truth he uncovered. A soft tap on the glass startles me, and I turn to see the librarian watching nervously, her eyes flicking toward the front entrance. "Someone's asking about you," she whispers urgently, her voice trembling as fear flickers across her face. Panic surges through me as footsteps echo down the aisle, heavy and deliberate, heading directly toward the back room. I shut off the machine quickly, stuffing the microfilm into my bag and scanning for any exit besides the hall where footsteps grow louder. The librarian grabs my hand, her grip surprisingly strong, leading me toward a hidden door behind a tall shelf of outdated atlases. It opens to a narrow stairwell, dimly lit and dusty, descending underground like a forgotten escape route carved from old stone. "Go now," she urges, pushing me inside before closing the door softly, leaving me alone with the sound of my own wild heartbeat. I hurry down the steep steps, the air thickening as walls close around me, carrying echoes of history and old secrets. The stairwell leads to a basement storage area cluttered with boxes, cobwebs, and a rusted service door barely held shut by a single latch. I force the latch open, stepping into a narrow alleyway that smells of rain, dust, and a quiet hint of freedom. My lungs burn as I run, shadows from tall buildings stretching over me, like outstretched hands trying to pull me back. I turn corner after corner, weaving through side streets until the sound of footsteps fades behind me, leaving only distant city noise. Reaching a crowded marketplace, I blend into the sea of people, keeping my head low, my bag pressed against my chest protectively. A vendor's reflection in shiny metal catches my attention, a dark figure weaving through the crowd, scanning faces with unsettling precision. I slip between stalls, using hanging fabrics and tall baskets to shield myself, every step fueled by fear and determination. When I finally reach a taxi stand, I jump into the first available car, giving the driver an address to a hotel far across town. The driver glances at me through the mirror, sensing my fear, but choosing silence. Letting the city blur past as distance grows between me and the danger. At the hotel, I rush to my room, double-locking the door before collapsing onto the bed, exhaustion washing over me like a heavy tide. Holding the locket again, I feel my mother's presence guiding me, reminding me that truth, though dangerous, is the only path forward. I pull out the letter once more, reading her final lines slowly, tears blurring the ink as her love reaches across time with gentle certainty. "You were always our hope," she wrote, "the reason he fought and the reason I stayed strong. When you're ready, follow the coordinates." Coordinates. My breath catches. I unfold the last small piece of paper hidden beneath her letter, revealing a series of numbers leading to a remote location. I enter them into my phone, watching a tiny marker drop onto a mountainous region far from cities. Quiet, untouched by noise or danger. Something deep within me knows this place holds the final truth. Maybe even the man whose eyes match mine so perfectly. I pack quickly, grabbing essentials, the locket, and the microfilm, before leaving the hotel through a side exit, determined to reach the coordinates. Renting a small car, I drive for hours. Landscapes changing from bustling suburbs to winding countryside roads lined with towering pines. The sky turns orange as the sun dips behind distant hills, painting the journey in warm hues that soften the heavy fear inside me. When night falls, stars scatter across the sky like silent witnesses to my unraveling story. Answers long buried. The road grows narrow and rocky, the GPS signal flickering as I approach the remote location marked by my mother. I finally arrive at a small wooden cabin tucked between tall trees, its windows glowing faintly with warm light that pulls me like gravity. My breath trembles as I step onto the creaking porch, each wooden plank echoing like a heartbeat synced with mine. I knock gently, unsure whether to fear or hope for what waits on the other side of the door. The door opens slowly, revealing a man older than the photos, his hair graying, eyes tired but unmistakably carrying the same shape and warmth as mine. He freezes, breath-catching, staring at me as if seeing a ghost from a life he never stopped longing for. "You look just like her," he whispers, voice breaking, memories flooding his eyes as recognition softens his guarded posture. My throat tightens as tears spill, realizing this is the man my mother loved, the man she protected by keeping me hidden. He steps closer, trembling, gently touching the locket around my neck, his eyes filling with grief, love, and years of unspoken apologies. "She sent you," he murmurs, voice trembling. "She always promised you'd find me when it was safe." I hoped, but I never believed it. We move inside the cabin, warm light wrapping around us like my mother's embrace. Bringing a calm I haven't felt since her passing, I show him the microfilm, and he exhales slowly, as if seeing the final piece of a puzzle he spent a lifetime trying to protect. This is why they hunted me," he explains, holding it carefully. "I tried to expose them, but they silenced everything except my hope for you. He reveals how he escaped, survived in shadows, and waited for a day when danger would fade enough to allow the truth to surface safely. Hearing his story, I feel years of anger dissolving, placed by understanding for a man forced into disappearance to save us both. He hands me a box filled with letters he wrote but never sent, each page a testament to love that never wavered, despite distance and fear. Tears fall freely as I read his words: pride, longing, heartbreak, every emotion etched deeply, making me feel seen for the first time. We sit together for hours, unraveling stories, comparing memories of my mother, laughing through tears as we rebuild a connection stolen from us. He tells me she visited him once after disappearing, promising to protect me until the world was safer, leaving him with hope to survive each lonely day. I place her locket in his hands, watching his face soften as he holds it like a sacred piece of their love preserved through time. Dawn breaks outside, painting the sky in soft pinks and golds. A new beginning unfolding with gentle certainty neither of us expected. Together, we decide to finish what my parents started, exposing the truth using the microfilm as the final key to justice. He brings out an old binder filled with evidence he collected before disappearing, connecting perfectly with the microfilm in my possession. We work side by side, scanning, documenting, and organizing everything needed to present the case safely to trusted investigators. For the first time, I see strength in his eyes, not the fear of a hunted man, but the courage of a father reunited with his purpose. After hours of work, he steps outside to breathe fresh air, looking at the morning sun with relief painting his face. I joined him on the porch, feeling the cool breeze carry a sense of peace my life has lacked for far too long. "Your mother wanted this," he says softly, "not just justice, but for you to know the truth, to know us." His words settled deep in my heart, healing wounds formed by years of unanswered questions and silent struggles. We packed the evidence into a secure briefcase, preparing to drive to a trusted journalist known for exposing corruption fearlessly. As we leave the cabin, the forest seems to part gently, as if granting us passage to a future my mother always hoped I'd reach. On the drive, we talk endlessly: favorite foods, childhood memories, dreams building the bond we were robbed of, but finally reclaiming. The journalist welcomes us, shocked by the evidence, but grateful we're ready to unveil the truth after decades of silence. She assures us protection, promising to investigate thoroughly and publish the story with maximum strength, despite the danger. As she reviews the microfilm, her eyes widen, realizing the gravity of what my parents risked everything to protect. She calls her team immediately, setting up secure communication channels and promising to shield us from any threat that may resurface. My father squeezes my hand gently, his expression filled with pride and relief as years of fear finally begin to melt away. Outside, sunlight warms our faces, symbolizing a new chapter built not on secrecy, but on truth, love, and long-awaited connection. We walk through the city together, father and child side by side, discovering simple joys we both feared would never come. At dinner, he tells stories that make me laugh so hard, tears appears from joy, not pain, for the first time in years. We visit a quiet park, sitting beneath a tall oak tree, where children play nearby, filling the air with life and hope. My father pulls out the locket again, placing it gently around my neck, whispering, "This belongs with you. It always has." I feel the warmth of the metal against my skin, a piece of my mother's love connecting us in ways words never could. We take a slow walk through winding paths, sharing dreams of the future, no longer bound by fear or separation. He promises to stay, to be present, to rebuild everything time and danger tried to break. And I believe him completely. That night, we return to the cabin, lighting a candle for my mother. honoring her sacrifices and the love that guided us here. Her photo glows softly in the candlelight, her smile gentle as if blessing the reunion she always hoped we'd have. We sit in quiet gratitude, the silence comfortable, no longer empty, but filled with her presence surrounding us warmly. My father shows me old journals he kept, filled with plans to expose the corporation and dreams of a future with us safe and free. Reading his entries, I realize the depth of his fight, the years spent in shadows just to ensure I lived a life untouched by danger. I thank him, voice trembling, for never giving up on us, even when the world pushed him into isolation. Tears slip down his cheeks as he tells me I was the reason he kept going, the reason he survived the darkest moments. We stay awake late, talking about my childhood, the mother who raised me, and the father I finally found after too long. The next morning, news stations begin reporting the investigation, exposing the corporation's wrongdoing with undeniable evidence. Public outrage erupts, and the guilty individuals are quickly placed under scrutiny, their power crumbling under truth's relentless light. The journalist calls, informing us that the story is trending worldwide, sparking movements demanding justice and transparency. For the first time in decades, my father feels safe, knowing the threat has finally lost its grip on our lives. We celebrate quietly, sharing a simple breakfast that feels like a feast, filled with warmth, healing, and new beginnings. Walking outside, we watch the sun rise together, golden light breaking through clouds like hope finally taking shape. I rest my head on his shoulder, feeling the comfort of a parent I feared I'd never meet, filling an emptiness I carried for years. He wraps an arm around me gently, whispering, "We're together now. That's all that matters." Birds chirp overhead, the forest swaying softly as if applauding the reunion fate finally allowed after decades of separation. We decide to rebuild the cabin into a permanent home, our safe place, our new beginning, a tribute to my mother's courage. As we renovate, laughter fills the air, placing old shadows with memories we create together, healing the past with love and purpose. I placed my mother's photo on the mantle, her smile watching over us, the foundation of everything that led us here. My father hands me a small box containing the letters he wrote, asking me to keep them as reminders of his unwavering love. I hug him tightly, the years of distance melting away, replaced by gratitude for a bond finally restored. Together, we plant a tree outside the cabin, dedicating it to my mother, living symbol of the truth she protected and the family she preserved. As its roots take hold, so does our connection, strong and resilient, growing deeper each day we spend rebuilding our lives. The world may still hold uncertainties, but we face them united, armed with truth, love, and the strength of the past we survived. I look at my father, feeling whole for the first time, realizing the package that began with fear led me to everything I was missing. With the locket shining in the sunlight, I whisper a thank you to my mother. Knowing her secret didn't break, a sit brought our family back together,